This is BBC Essex Sport with Glenn Speller.
Wednesday Sport through until 7 o'clock tonight. Now, it was a great weekend for 5 members of the Chelmsford Karate Club as they were chosen to be part of the England squad for 2019. Emma Burke, Mia Hillsden and Jack Summers were reselected following trials in Liverpool, while Alex Lockett and Nick Nelson were selected for the first time. Alex and Nick are with me in the Wednesday Sport studio now, along with Sensei Richard Naylor-Jones, who runs the club. Guys, thanks very much for coming in this evening. Richard, first of all,
Thank you.
Great achievement for absolutely everybody, but for these two guys in particular in the studio with us.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication just to get yourself ready to go along and try to be selected. So the fact that they actually were is fantastic.
Alex, thanks for coming in and joining us. How tough was the selection for you to get through?
Very nerve-wracking at the beginning, but once you kind of got through it, you got warmed up, and then you kind of settled down after it. But it's still really nerve-wracking waiting to see if you've been selected.
Nick, what about you? Were there nerves sort of going in beforehand, or does Richard settle you down?
No, it was definitely kind of like made me nervous, and I only really calmed down when my name was called up. And after my name was called up, I was nervous again, waiting for my name to be called for the selection. That's
good though, isn't it, Richard, if they're nervous? Isn't
No, I think it is. I think if they've got that keenness, they don't just think it's just an automatic thing, and I think it pushes them, tries to get the best out of them. So it's just that balance, but they're both very confident young men. I think that's sort of come about with their karate training. So I think as soon as their name was called out, then it was back to their training. They knew exactly what they needed to do, and they went out and they performed to a great standard.
So tell us, Nick, what's the selection process? What do you have to do?
Well, there's 2 different types of selection. So there's one called kata, and that's kind of a set form of moves, and then there's another one called kumite, which is fighting. So I got through on the fighting, and the fighting is when they call up 2 people to kind of fight against each other, and it's just about technique and how you fight.
So it's not about necessarily winning?
No.
No, okay. Which is
I mean, they're against people from right across the country, so obviously there are other coaches out there that have sort of selected their people to go along. They've coached them, they've told them what they need to do, and they're fired up, so they're against somebody they've never met before potentially. So it was really good that both of them went out there and they fought very strong.
Alex, you're very young, but having started karate, was the ambition to make it as high as you could, push yourself through, go sort of beyond your club, go international?
When I started, I definitely didn't think I'll get to this point. I kind of didn't see to the future until I fully got into it, got up the different belts, further in my kind of career, if you would say.
Yeah. Do there have to become a natural talent to this, Richard, or when you first come in, or can you learn this?
You can definitely learn it. I think it's good that if you've got a little bit of talent, but then it requires a lot of hard work and dedication and commitment. So you do find some people not able to put the time in that they need to, and that means that they don't make the grade. So people are prepared to work hard, they can succeed. And talent is not necessarily the only factor that's involved, because there's a process, there's a system, and if you work hard, then hard work outstrips talent, basically.
Are there a lot of hours involved in this, Nick, during a week?
Yeah, I train usually 3 to 4 times a week, so that's about maybe 5 hours roughly.
Wow, it's a heck of a commitment, bearing in mind you've got schoolwork, etc., on top of that, Richard. But it pays off, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it also pays off with the schools as well. We get a lot of positive reports from the parents that children start karate, they improve their concentration, they improve their memory skills, they get more confident, their behaviour improves, and so that knocks also into schools. So a lot of parents, when they see that it's actually worth giving a little bit of time to the sport and the activity, because they reap benefits outside of training.
One of the other 3 who've been reselected, we've spoken to before on the programme, Mia Hillsden. Does it sort of help, Alex, having someone like her and like the other 2 in the club who've been there, done it, seen it? You can sort of aspire to be where they are?
Definitely, you can see it firsthand, the improvement they've made from the start to the end, almost, and it really encourages you to try and get to their level. And
this is a big deal. How do you think you're going to feel going and representing England for the first time, Nick?
Well, hopefully I do get that far, but yeah, it will feel kind of good to kind of represent my own country, and it's just motivating. to push further.
Yeah, because I guess this is the start you're looking at, are you, Richard? Looking for these guys to push right through, are you?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking for them to sort of emulate the things that Mia Hillsden has done when she went on to win a world title. Jack Summers has been very consistent for many years, winning British, European and world titles. So we're looking forward to these. These are two very talented and hard-working young men. So we're very hopeful for their future.
Just finally for now then, Richard, you've got 5 who've been selected. The club sounds like it's thriving.
It is, yes. I mean, the 5 join quite a long legacy. Chelmsford has been very strong. It's been about since 1967, and we've had a number of people that have gone on to join national squads and then gone to represent their country. So, but this is really good. This is an exciting time for the club.
Thanks very much for coming in to join us. Wish you two well, and Richard, thanks for coming in as well.
Thank you very much.
There we are, Chelmsford Karate Club going from strength to strength. Thanks to Alex, Nick and Richard for joining us here on Wednesday Sport. It's 6:30.
This is BBC.